Yo, what's good, football crew? The Premier League is about to light up our screens in just a few hours, and trust me, it's going to be an absolute banger of a season. We're talking about the English Premier League, the wildest, most unpredictable league on the planet, where giants can fall, underdogs can rise, and no one's safe at the top. We're breaking down who's ready to dominate, who's fighting for the top four, and whether Liverpool can hold onto their crown or if someone's about to snatch it. Let's get into it. Last season was not the Premier League we know and love. It was like watching a movie you thought was going to be a blockbuster, but ended up just okay. Liverpool ran away with the title way too early. Manchester City looked like they forgot how to play. Manchester United were straight up painful to watch. And Chelsea? They didn't even seem like they wanted to be there. Arsenal got close, but crumbled when it mattered most. And Tottenham? Bro, they finished 17th, one spot above the relegation zone. Ouch! The numbers don't lie either. Viewership dropped by 10%. That's fans literally switching off because the vibes were off, the title race was non-existent, and the big teams just weren't delivering the chaos and excitement we crave. But this season? It's a whole different story. The top clubs have woken up, the transfer market's been wild, and everyone's coming in hot with something to prove. This is the Premier League we signed up for, a full-on war where anything can happen. Let's start with the champs, Liverpool. They crushed it last season, lifting the trophy with ease. But manager Arne Slot wasn't fooled by the silverware, he saw the cracks in the squad. Relying on Mo Salah to carry the team every week wasn't sustainable. Salah was basically dragging them across the finish line. Darwin Núñez struggled to find his groove, and injuries hit the squad hard. So Slot went to work, hitting the transfer market with precision. Liverpool's locked in 4 massive signings. Florian Wirtz from Bayer Leverkusen, a midfielder who's a goal-scoring playmaker. Hugo Ekitike from Eintracht Frankfurt, a clinical striker to replace Núñez's missing goals. Jeremy Frimpong from Bayer Leverkusen, a dynamic right-back. And Milos Kerkez from Bournemouth, a versatile left-back who brings defensive grit and attacking flair. That's €323.5 million spent, including £40 million for Kerkez, making him their priciest fullback ever. But wait, Liverpool's not done. They're still chasing Newcastle's Alexander Isak, and if Newcastle gives the green light, Liverpool's ready to drop a record-breaking offer. The wild part? Liverpool's never splashed cash like this before. Where's all this money coming from? Who knows? Next up, let's talk Manchester City. After Pep Guardiola basically owned England for years, Arne Slot came along and snatched the crown from him like it was nothing. Pep's not taking that lightly, though he's coming back with a vengeance. City's bolstered their squad with 4 new faces, Ryan Cherki, Ait Nouri, Tijjani Reinders, and James Trafford, with a transfer budget of €160 million. But hold up, don't forget their insane winter transfer window last season. They dropped €212 million on 4 more players: Omar Marmoush, Nico Gonzalez, Kusanov, and Vitor Rise. Add it all up, and City's rolling into the new season with 8 new players and over €370 million spent. In my opinion, Pep's playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. He's brought in young, hungry players who are ready to fight for trophies and give it their all. That's why I'm betting Manchester City's going to come out swinging this season. But here's the kicker. Pep dropped a weird comment at his last press conference. When reporters asked about his plans for the new season, he was like, "Don't expect a strong Manchester City in the first 3 matches." Yeah, right. I'm calling BS on that one. This is classic Pep. Downplaying expectations, acting like he's got nothing up his sleeve. It's his go-to move to take the pressure off his squad. Now, let's shift gears to Arsenal. They're heading into a make-or-break season for Mikel Arteta's project. It's do-or-die time. Arteta took over on December 20, 2019, and over 5 years later, you can't deny he's transformed the team. But when it comes to trophies, just one in the bag. The problem is, you can't really call him a failure either. Arsenal's been reaching Champions League semi-finals and finishing second in the Premier League. Still, the fans are running out of patience. Arteta spent over 900 million euros on the squad, and people are starting to call him the contractor because of how long this rebuild's been going on. This season, it's simple. Deliver silverware or it's time to pack your bags.
As for Arsenal's transfer moves, they brought in 6 players this summer. Martin Zubimendi, Victor Gyökeres, Madueke, Mosquera, Norgard, and Kepa Arrizabalaga. The fans are dreaming of a Premier League title, and now the ball's in Arteta's court to make it happen.
Moving on to Manchester United. After what was probably their worst season ever and years of disappointment, we're finally seeing a real revolution at the club. With Ineos running the show and Ruben Amorim leading the charge, United's looking like they're back in business.
The club's biggest issue in recent years? A total mess in management. The Glazers were out of their depth when it came to football. But ever since Sir Jim Ratcliffe bought a stake and took full control of football operations, things are looking up.
United's transfer milieu has been fire. Their biggest issue last season, scoring goals. So they dropped $245 million on a lethal attacking trio. Matheus Cunha from Wolves, Brian Mbeumo from Brentford, and Benjamin Sesko from RB Leipzig. These guys are perfect for Amorim's high-energy system, and they've all been overperforming their expected goals, meaning they're clinical finishers.
I'm predicting a big comeback for Manchester United this season, with Amorim as the secret weapon to bring the Red Devils back to their rightful place. Realistically, though, a top 4 finish is their main target, and I think it's totally doable.
Moving on to Chelsea. After a strong season last year, it's time for them to step up and challenge the Premier League's big boys. They've gone wild in the transfer market, signing 8 players so far and planning to add 3 more, bringing their total to 11 deals this summer. But here's my issue. When you look at their signings, only 2 or 3 are legit game changers. The rest, young prospects most people haven't even heard of. Don't get me wrong, investing in young talent is great, but when all your signings are kids, that's a problem.
Check this out. Over the last 3 years, Chelsea's signed 50 players for a mind-blowing 1.66 billion euros, making them the biggest spenders in world football. But how many of those 50 are actually good enough to start? Maybe 8 or 9, tops?
I'm not a fan of Chelsea's strategy here. They could have spent half that amount like PSG did with their 840 million euros and built the world's strongest squad. Instead, it feels like Chelsea's more about making money off these young players than chasing glory and trophies. Big clubs should be about winning, not just turning a profit. As for their goal this season, a top 4 finish is what they're aiming for, but it's gonna be a dogfight in the Premier League.
Finally, Tottenham. Last season was a disaster. 17th place, 1 spot above relegation, with no fight or identity. But they've made big moves. They brought in Thomas Frank from Brentford, a manager who's tactically sharp and thrives under pressure.
In the transfer market, they landed Mohamed Kudus from West Ham, a game changer who brings goals and flair to the left flank. With Kudus on one side and Brennan Johnson's versatility on the other, Spurs have options and a clear plan. They're not just surviving anymore, they're legit top 4 contenders.
So what's the deal for this season? It's gonna be a war. The title race, the top 4 fight, even the top 10, it's all up for grabs. Liverpool's the favorite, but City's out for revenge, Arsenal's ready to prove themselves, Chelsea's sneaking up, United's rising, and Spurs are back in the game.
Plus, those smaller teams are ready to crash the party. Who's your pick to take the crown? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a thing. This season's about to be wild, and we're here for every second of it. Catch you next time. Peace.